Hello and welcome to. Okay, yeah.
I hate it when people do that.
I know why they do that. Anyway,
I know
hello
it's
and
just it's just an editing trick, but it's so nerdy.
hello and welcome to Kakistocracy. My name is Chris Adams. I am here with Joseph P. Larkin, aka American Housewife. How are you doing?
I'm super good.
I, I apologize just for laughing out the gate, but we have like some nerdy behind the scenes stuff that none of you were privy to that I think is funny, but it's
Did any of you
it's
guys go to film school too? Take two.
I mean, the reason they do that is because it's easier to sync the sound if there's like a loud noise.
Oh no, I understand it, but they just
Yeah.
always look like a dork while they do it. They always have that goofy look on their face, like, "Look what I'm doing! I'm so clever."
Hmm.
But anyway, hopefully, I didn't clap too many times. It might confuse you. It might. You
I
might
don't
do
know.
it. You might do what I did with my American Top 40 video, where I accidentally added the one of the records twice, so you just hear certain songs over and over for half an hour. There's an extraneous half an hour added to that video, which is why it didn't go to 10,000. It only went to 1,000. The other one went to 10,000. See, this stuff doesn't make any fucking sense to me, man. Why did one of these American Top 40s get 10,000 views and then the other two only got 1,000? What's going on here? Like 10,000 people, 9,000 people were just like, that's enough. 3 hours is enough. I guess I don't want to listen to 9 hours of music for
Yeah.
free. But anyway, so after this is over, I have to go to the grocery store to buy some cat food. So I'm going to go to the grocery store in Calabasas, where the Jewish people live, and try and get some kosher Coca-Cola. I want to give this is a hot tip for all you goyim out there. So during Passover, because Jews aren't supposed to drink those chemicals for religious reasons. Now we shouldn't drink them either for health reasons. But anyway, I'm looking for the ones with the yellow cap. The yellow caps are just for Jews.
Hmm.
Those are not for Goyim. The Goyim get the other caps. So I'm going to try to find the yellow cap Coca-Cola and see if it tastes as good as Mexican Coke, which is what I'm told. Everyone knows that Mexican Coke is better because it has actual sugar in it. It tastes
Yeah.
like the Coca-Cola of your childhood, basically. So I'm
Cane
trying to figure
sugar.
out. Yeah, so I'm going to try to figure out how to do that. I'm assuming that the Jewish Coke is priced much cheaper than the Mexican Coke,
Yeah.
given the exclusive clientele that they're selling it to.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Mexican Coke is like $5 a bottle. Something
yeah, well,
ridiculous.
let's see if the Jewish Coke is better. I know it's gonna be better because it won't have a bunch of aspartame in it or whatever the fuck they put in soda now.
Yeah, that's only if you get like sugar free, but it's also cancer causing. Well,
They're putting that
okay.
stuff. They put that stuff in regular Coke too, though. They're just not putting
Mm.
as much of it in there. You dig what I'm saying here?
Mm.
I don't know. I might have a whole review next week. The only thing I'm not gonna get is meat because I know that a rabbi blesses the meat, and I think if you're a Christian and you eat it, you go to hell or something.
Start burning.
Yeah, so just probably better just not to eat it. Just get stick with Coca-Cola. I've did a little Freudian slip there. Now you guys know what I'm really into.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh.
But yeah, the whole kosher thing, because I used to work at Coffee Bean, and we were a kosher coffee shop, and basically what it was is that meat and cheese couldn't be on the same plate is one of the rules.
How the fuck did the Jews eat a sandwich?
They eat either like a meat only or a cheese only. They don't,
Interesting.
and then you can have other ingredients, but you can't have meat and cheese at the same on the same thing.
Why don't these Jews tell God that we invented refrigeration and now it's not really an issue?
Well, that's the thing. That's where the pork thing comes from. That's why they can't have pork. That's why Muslims can't have pork because these are ancient religions.
Because
Christianity was
they're too stupid to keep it to throw ice on it, to throw ice or salt it a little bit.
right. Well, Christianity updated with the times. Like it was an ancient religion, but it updated as things changed. It goes, oh, meats, pork is now safe. We can refrigerate. We can test for different things. We can make sure that it has some standards to it. But these other religions are like, no, this is what we believe, and we'll never change.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
we just believe that you can be able to fuck a 9-year-old.
and
That's both those religions, folks.
in the
Why do you think
Talmud,
that? Yeah, hey, why do you think they're importing all these Muslims here? It's because they want to be able to openly rape and fuck kids. They
mm,
need a majority of people that are into that. And I got news for you: it ain't Christians.
right?
Christians
Yeah.
just are not into that stuff.
Well, I've been watching these police videos lately. Like I've just been addicted to like true crime. I know it's very whatever, but I've the types of people that like they'll get these like foreigners that are just like fresh off the boat, and
Mhm.
they'll be like, I didn't know I couldn't do that. And I'm like, does that work where you're from? Because that's not that just because you don't know you can't do something doesn't mean you can't do something.
They just play dumb. It's the same shit I
Mm,
used to pull when I lived in the Czech Republic and I would ride the
mm,
train for free. What I did is I just pretended I was too stupid to know how to use the machine, and usually the ticket taker guy would just walk me over to the machine and show me how to.
mm.
I knew. Trust me, I fucking knew.
Yeah.
Every time you commit crime, just play dumb and act like you didn't know there was a crime being committed at all.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
definitely that's the approach of all foreigners and black people from what I've seen from body cam footage. I just don't. What
What?
you don't touch other people's children at the fucking swimming pool? What do you mean? This is what we do in our country.
It is weird because I'm watching these things and I'm like, there's no way that that's gonna work because, uh,
It has to have worked for some of them at some point. There's got
mhm.
to be white people that are just so frustrated they just they throw up their hands and say, "Fine, go, get out of here." That's what
the
they do to the black people, I think, a lot in restaurants when it's busy and they start throwing a bunch of fucking complaints because they want to get a comped meal. I think
right,
that there's always some little white girl there that's just like, oh fuck, I don't want to be filmed. I don't want to be put on the internet. I'll just fucking eat the cost of this meal out of my paycheck because it's the wait staff that has to pay for it, not the fucking restaurant. This is
right,
something that black people do not, and Indians and other scammers don't understand. It's like you're fucking over some working class people. You're not fucking over a corporation.
not at all. No.
You stupid fuck.
When I at the casino when I got scammed out of money because they gave me fake 20s and I just early on I was too dumb to realize I had to pay the money out of my
Mm-hmm.
pocket. I was just some working class guy, you know. So you're looking at this going like, do you not realize that the only people you're screwing over are other people just trying to get ahead or just trying to make ends meet? They're
Mm-hmm.
not they're not like some rich corporation. They're not going to feel the effects of that. They don't even know that
Mm-hmm.
that happened.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no one at the Olive Garden except the manager knows that you stole, and the manager took it out of the fucking tips,
Yeah.
out of the tip jar, and punished everyone that worked there.
Hmm. Yeah. Or
Dude,
like,
corporations never get punished. These people like this. This is what they use this idea in their mind to justify theft, but there is no justification. You stole
no.
from some fucking hood rat that also lives in the hood with you.
Here's how you know it's not. They don't believe any justification they say because if
Mhm.
it happened to them, they'd be angry.
I love that you said that because that's the way I feel about my neighbors,
Yeah.
dude. If I were slamming my front door at 6 in the morning every day, they'd be livid. They'd
Hmm.
be fucking livid. In fact, they already go complain to the HOA about stuff that's way less worse. It's like nowhere near as bad as the stuff they do. Dude, I've seen these people take trash out of the recycling multiple times now. I'm noticing my other neighbors aren't using the recycling bin either. They're taking it to the building next door like I do. Like this
Hmm.
is fucked up, dude. One group of people that are completely ruining the quality of life for everyone around them, and they don't give a flying fuck. They love it. They
Right.
love it.
They don't live in the same society that we all grew up in, where it's like you have to some respect for other people because that's how everyone gets along. Is like you go, okay, I'm going to be somewhat respectful to these other people because I want them to be respectful to me. Well, other people from other places don't have that mentality.
They don't have any respect for each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at their country and tell me that they respect each other.
Right. And so it's not evil to notice that. It's actually, you need to notice that in order to make your society stronger. You need to stop being pussies, stop capitulating, stop letting these people walk over you, stop letting them steal from you. And in fact, every time, what is that quote? Mercy to the guilty is cruelty to the innocent. Adam Smith. It's something like that. I'm misquoting a little bit, but that's Adam Smith, the famous economist that everyone bases a lot of their modern ideas on. It's like, so you keep letting criminals run everything. You're actually just hurting everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You're making life worse for everybody. In fact, I have one video that might make you feel slightly better about a criminal getting kind of his just desserts.
Dude, this guy just stole his bike. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude.
Guy is crying.
Oh my god, no.
Just follow him. Just follow him. Act like
Yes.
just follow him.
Huh?
God.
I can't wait for it to happen. It's
Dude.
taking so long.
I
Yes.
know.
Oh, I
Yes.
hear
It's
him.
almost there. That's actually not that.
I'm gonna just knock him off the bike.
Like electric bike.
Electric bike.
Oh,
Yes.
Motherfucker.
There's a very good chance he just paralyzed himself.
Yeah. Which is what he
He
deserves.
just fell off of it. and
I would just grab the
Oh my
bike and
God,
drive
my
away.
husband's getting-
I wouldn't even
Yeah.
call cops, to be honest with you.
No, that's a waste of time. And
Oh,
they
that
didn't.
that gordita took a fucking spill. It
Yeah.
reminds me of when you get the bag from Taco Bell and it spills and you get lettuce all over your pants. That's what it just looked like when you fell off that bike. Yeah,
Dude.
talk about getting his just desserts. It looks like he's had his just desserts every fucking night for the last 25 years. I'm so tired of these fat, dysgenic fucks.
Mhm.
Like, you can't look at that guy and tell me he's going to be a productive member of society. He's extremely obese. He's very stupid. They all dress like preppies for some reason, like impoverished preppies with the collared shirt, like they're going to work or something. But they're not going to fucking work
No.
with their dumb fucking work boots. They either wear Vans or their dumb fucking work boots. All these Mexican guys.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I feel nothing. I felt nothing watching that guy probably paralyze himself.
Yeah.
What does it
I'm a-
matter? My tax dollars already pay for his upkeep. What does it matter if he's in a wheelchair or not? Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, even when he gets in the wheelchair, I'll try to steal a different wheelchair that's more expensive. It's not like they learn lessons from their fucking behavior.
No. And I don't like I wish there was more like a follow up. That's the one thing about these videos is they're often way too short. So I'm like, what happened?
It is frustrating, yeah. And then there's always some dipshit in the comments who's like, "Hey, Grok, what happened after this?"
Yeah. And it's
And
like
I say-
Grok
as if
doesn't know.
Grok doesn't know fucking shit either. I'm so embarrassed by humanity that people ask AI to just to explain a tweet to them. Like,
Yeah.
God damn, dude, get a fucking clue. Hey, Grok, did this guy go to jail?
Yeah, I have no idea. But
I mean, AI is fucked because the people trying to train it to learn are retarded Mexicans and Indians and shit. So that would be like an Indian guy trying to teach me how to draw or something. I'd be like, I'm not listening to you.
yeah. And it's wrong like most of the time anyway. So people are asking it as if it has any more knowledge than you do. And it just makes shit up.
It does make shit up, though. It's really frustrating
Mhm.
because, like, for instance, I was looking at some restaurant. I was like, I know this fucking restaurant closed down. I know it did. I know it did because I've driven by it and it didn't look open. And I looked it up. Grok said, or whatever, the Google AI said it's still open. It's been open for 25 years. It's like, dude, I could have driven over there and had my time wasted.
Right.
Like, fuck that. I mean, that stuff happens all the time with weed dispensaries. If you're looking for a weed dispensary on Yelp, 9 times out of 10 they're fucking closed down.
Right.
With
The
no
only one-
with no comments, with no
Yeah.
reviews even.
The only one I know for sure is open is the one I walk by like every day to get to the fourth wall.
I've shopped there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I've been to that one. Yeah, that place sucks. It's overpriced and shitty. I mean, I guess I'm pretty lucky to live out in the valley where weed is not as expensive, I guess, but it's still too expensive for my taste.
It
I don't
is.
know, dude. I was looking at the back of an edible, and I was like, dude, they really have bred all the CBD out of marijuana. It's like 100% THC now, which is not good for you people. Like, it's not good. The part that relaxed you has been bred out of marijuana. So now, I mean, now I would imagine it's sort of like just getting drunk. Like, it doesn't have the part that mellows you out, that keeps you from doing crime, quite frankly.
Right.
The part of it that relaxed you and mellowed you out so that you didn't go punch someone in the face while you smoked weed with them is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So what's even the point of having it? Maybe I should just move on to just CBD only, which I have experimented with over time. But
Yeah, I used to do gummies of that. That was pretty good. It was like easy to sleep and stuff. But
it was good to have on, like, in the car when you're driving and you're already irritated. I was like, oh, I used to, because there used to be a water version of it that had just CBD in it, and I would drink it on the way to the Comedy Store. It was like the only way I could relax before I had to drink a CBD water, and then I'd have to like park like 20 minutes away so I could walk up to the Comedy Store with my headphones on, listening to the MC5 and not acknowledging anyone's existence. It's the only way I could tolerate going there. I mean, honestly, dude, now that I'm not smoking weed, and I haven't really been smoking weed consistently for 2 years or something like that, I don't have any friends. There's no reason to ever talk to any comedians anymore. Like, I don't want to drink with them, and I can't smoke with them, so that we now have nothing in common. We never had comedy in common. That's for fucking sure. You know what I mean? I never felt like they were my peers or my equals. I was like, these people are all fucking dumb, and they're still dumb. Sometimes I think they're getting dumber in a weird way.
Well, with phones and AI, yeah, I feel like people have lost a little bit of their way.
And CBD less weed. I mean, that's crazy. There's only 2 ingredients to the weed, and they took one of them out, and it happens to be the one that's the only ingredients that's beneficial to the user. I don't know. That's a mind fuck to me.
Yeah, no, it is. And yeah, I don't smoke weed anymore. I used to a long time ago, but I don't really, like, every once in a blue moon I'll get edibles or whatever and do that. But, I'm not against any of it. It's just like, I feel like people overuse it. And here's the thing I feel, especially with weed, where it seems like it's your friend. It feels like it's your friend because it makes you, whatever, and you're in a better mood, I guess. But it also sucks away all of your motivation, your creativity. But it doesn't seem, you don't think it does, but it absolutely does. You're not as creative as you think you are. Because I've seen so many comics smoke weed and then do a set, and it's like the worst shit I've ever seen. I'm like, you thought that was good? And
yeah, they're high. Dude, most comics have nothing to talk about. It's really depressing. So I was reading something on Twitter today about some guy that was like, what happened to the hour in stand-up comedy? Which I've also been asking, like, what happened to the hour? That used to mean something. And it wasn't just that they would have an hour every year. The hour was connected. The jokes were all like they fit together, like it had a point. There was a purpose. And the reason why comedy's not good anymore is there's no more George Carlins. There's never going to be another George Carlin. It's all Matt Rife type people that are doing the most tedious, boring fucking crowd work imaginable. They all do crowd work. It's the dullest fucking shit I could ever envision. I can't understand how people would pay for this. I guess they like being part of the show or something like that. They feel special because the comedian made fun of them or some bullshit.
Yes.
But it's like, man, they don't even know what it was like to go see Carlin.
No.
They don't know. Like, this guy had a whole fucking 80-minute set worked out, and the beats were worked out, and there was a flow to it. Yeah. There was a point to it.
The I worked with one of the better crowd work comics. I'm not going to say who it is because I just don't care to say it, but I did for a little bit. And what I noticed is I had seen him about 10 to 15 years earlier, and I thought he was a genius 10 to 15 years ago. But then I noticed when I actually started working with him, he was doing the exact same thing he did 15 years ago. And so I was like, oh, this isn't a genius. This is a guy just repeating stuff he's done so much. That
he's the opposite of a genius, dude. He's a total hack.
Yeah.
You know, callbacks and shit like that. When I was 10, I thought these dudes were geniuses. What? You tied that joke together with the other joke from before? Dude, they don't even do that stuff anymore. And that was hacky. that was the height of hackiness in the 80s. We don't even get quality control like that. God, do you know how satisfying it is to watch these comedians fail? And like we were talking a little bit about this movie Bus Boys via text. And I hate to be, you know, such a fan of Schadenfreude, but watching Theo Von fail is deeply fucking satisfying. I can't deny that it is. And in fact, when I saw, like, I've never even seen a trailer. I don't know where the fuck they've been advertising this. It's just not on my radar, I guess. But like David Spade is box office poison. He's never been in a hit movie. It's fucking crazy. Like, why would you even put him? He'll never be in the theaters again after this, and nor will Theo Von.
Right.
They did basically just destroyed their career. And if you looked at the list of other comics, it's all the worst people like Bobby Lee, these unfunny fucking hacks. Who the fuck's gonna go to the movie theater and see this shit? Well, I got news for you. No one will. It opened up in 800 theaters and only made $1.85 million. I thought that was fucking impossible. Like, if you open in 800 theaters, it should be like, I mean, in a place like California or New York, in LA and New York City, it should be $1 million just there.
Just one city, yeah.
Yeah, just for the weekend.
Yeah.
So basically what they're saying is that, yeah, only people in New York City and LA watched it. And then in the other 798 theaters, no one gave a flying fuck. But why would they? I mean, I wasn't talking to you about this. I talked to multiple comics who hate Theo Von, I guess. So I had to spread it around today. But me and my buddy were talking about it. It's like my buddy's from the South. That's why he has an interest. And he knows what a phony Theo is.
Okay.
But we're talking about it's like, dude, David Spade never had a hit movie in the movie theaters. Because something like Tommy Boy, that became popular on HBO and on video. Black Sheep was a major fucking bomb. So even Chris Farley never had a hit movie. It's crazy to think about this stuff, that all these legends never did fucking shit when you really think about it. Wow, I mean, how many Rodney Dangerfield movies were hits? 2, maybe two of them.
Caddyshack for sure.
If you count Caddyshack and maybe Back to School. And then again, that movie Ladybugs was not a hit at the theaters, but it was popular on HBO. So these guys are already low rent to me. They're already like they're direct to video stars. That's all they ever could be. Who the fuck is gonna go to a movie theater and watch Theo Von act?
Well,
I mean, I understand he's already acting like he's not a child of privilege, and he's acting like he's from the South. But I mean, like, who wants to see him act as a different character than that character? I fucking don't.
Right. Well, even that Leonardo DiCaprio movie, One Battle After Another, it won an Oscar, but it lost $100 million.
Dude, it ate shit so hard, and it looks like a truly terrible movie. But
I watched it. It was boring.
It's the only time, I forgot who the director was, but it's the only time he did something political. So
Paul Thomas Anderson. Like, they weren't giving him a fucking Oscar. He never won an Oscar or was even nominated before, I don't think. But like, they didn't give him one for fucking Boogie Nights. This is the only movie he made that was fun or good. Or There Will Be Blood.
That's one he probably should have got one for. That was his first attempt at like a serious art piece. But they weren't going to reward him for stuff like that. They wanted to, because it wasn't like a politically motivated enough. I mean, Boogie Nights isn't about politics at all. It's a total character study. And honestly, the only reason why I like it is because I know that the main character is supposed to be John Holmes, and I just have an intense fixation on this guy because I'll just talk about it just for a second, because I read a book about him. He was part of the Wonderland murders, if people are familiar with that. But basically, he and his buddies robbed an Armenian gangster, which we know from The Shield you just don't do. Stay away from that Armenian money train.
Right.
But anyway, so he and then his dumb ass left a handprint on the wall, and he's a gigantic man. So there's so the guy that he robbed is like, I know exactly who the fuck was there. And of course, when the guy he robbed, the gangster, runs into John Holmes, he's wearing jewelry he stole from the gangster. So anyways, John Holmes had to go back with the gangsters and kill all of his buddies that he sold out. They killed him with a hammer. It's crazy. The whole thing's crazy. But anyways, my fixation on him doesn't even come from the fact he's a fucking murderer and shit. I'm more fascinated by the fact that he has what is alleged to be the largest penis ever, but even he doesn't know how big it is because it could never get hard fully. Take a moment and really wrap your brain around this. You could have, he thinks it's 13 inches long. He thinks, but it never got fully hard. That's just crazy to me. And then so these porn ladies that I read were talking about how when they were fucking him, it was like fucking a quote gigantic loofah. So like who? I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen any of his movies in a million years, but I don't even. Does the guy even come? Could he even come? Like, could you imagine having the world's biggest dick and it can't even come or get hard all the way? God has a fucking great sense of humor. I think that's hilarious.
That is quite funny. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he killed his friends with a hammer. He's just a bad person. Oh no! And by the way, the bloody print. I'm sorry, the bloody print was left at the crime scene after the murder. That's how the Armenian guy got busted. So he was just a big fuck up. He was just the definition of a fuck up. And of course, if you read about what he was really like in real life, he's a fucking rapist. And he was fucking underage girls and all kinds of fucked up shit.
Whoa!
And he had AIDS. He was spreading AIDS around too. Did I forget to mention that part?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Well, because he couldn't get work in straight movies, or I'm not even sure. The porn industry is really fucked up.
Yeah.
But if you're a male performer, you always have to do gay porn before they'll let you into straight porn. And as someone who reviewed porn, I started reviewing gay porn. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is.
They have to make sure that you're just as demented and sick as they are, I guess. Joke's on them. I never looked at the porn I reviewed.
You just like it's not like people read the reviews.
People do read the reviews.
Really?
That's the most depressing shit. Well, like there's guys out there that just never get laid. They're never going to get laid. They don't even think about it. These are the huge fat guys you see walking around where it's like you thinking like, does that guy even know where his dick is? Can he find it? And then it's like, he doesn't need his dick. Deep down, and he does too. He's never going to show it to anybody. So fuck it.
Right. Yeah.
He probably has a micro cock. That's how whenever I see someone who's super obese, I'm like, do you have a micro cock? Do you just figure, fuck it, I'm not showing my dick to anyone ever anyway. So I'll just be fat on top of being a micro dick loser guy.
Maybe. I don't know, man. That is a rough life.
What's it like having a micro cock in India? I mean, how small would that dick have to be?
3 centimeters.
Oh, mercy me.
Yeah. Man,
I cannot wait until I get some of that Jewish Coca-Cola in me. I can't wait. Sometimes I'll go to these Jewish delis, and the food is so good. I'm like, this has got to be made out of Christian children, right? There's got to be like some baby blood in this. Is that why the brisket tastes so good? It doesn't taste like regular like barbecue brisket. Why does it taste so good? Right. I also know this is too because there's tons of these delis in my area of my neck of the woods, and I noticed that the food is always garbage if it's traditional Jewish food because they still have Mexicans in the kitchen. So you can't even get brisket or anything. You just have to get like an omelet, or sometimes I'll be diabolical. I'll be like, can I get the chorizo at the Jewish deli? But I know for a fact it's going to be good because there's actual Mexicans making Mexican food, whereas there's no fucking Jews in there making Jewish food. It's actually very startling to me, to be honest with you. Why wouldn't you want to have a bunch of old Jewish ladies in there cooking the food?
Yeah, I don't know. And
let me say this, because there's one called Country Deli in Chatsworth I like to go to because it's near a hiking spot I go to. And I did notice that the old lady who owns it is there 24/7, and the bakery is awesome. It's like the only part of the actual restaurant she oversees personally.
Okay.
In case you guys were, I don't know why you even talked about that. Fuck it. You shouldn't support this business in any way. They don't even respect their own culture to get Jews in there to cook the food. Fuck it, dude.
Right. Oh, speaking, I know this is like going back a little bit, but speaking of text messages, you were talking to me about this movie that you'd watched, and I actually ended up watching it too, called
Mhm.
How I Got Into College.
Yeah, I love this movie so much. It's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
And of course, I went to look up facts about it when I was watching it. And the first thing I saw was that this guy here, the lead, died of cancer last year.
Yeah.
So the whole time I was watching, I was like, "Oh, you were so young and beautiful." But it's an interesting movie. Like Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob, is in it.
Yeah.
It's his first. Phil Hartman and Nora Dunn are in it. I'm
Mhm.
95% certain they were fucking, especially after you watch the way they interact with each other.
Yeah.
And the wife was super jealous of Nora Dunn. She was
okay.
because they would always be partners on Saturday Night Live and skits. And they must have been in the Groundlings together or something like that, and they were just skit partners.
Yeah.
But they're
'Cause-
they're fucking great in this movie, by the way. Totally fucking great.
Do you know what it reminded me of watching it? It reminded me of the Parker Lewis show. What was that show called?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see Parker Lewis Can't Lose because I was watching
Yeah.
a little bit of that this week too for fun. Well, I want to talk about the guy who directed it real quick. So, How I Got Into College was directed by a guy named Savage Steve Holland. He made 3 of the greatest comedies of all time, I feel, and he made them all in a row. The first one was Better Off Dead. The next one was One Crazy Summer, which is basically a sequel to Better Off Dead, except none of the characters have the same names or personalities as they did in the first movie. Oddly enough, also Dan Schneider is in both of those movies. He's in all 3 of these movies, actually.
Oh.
He must have been one of Savage Steve Holland's like players in his little world. But anyway, these movies, they bombed at the box office so bad that he never got to make any movies again. But they got a huge cult following from HBO because they played the shit on HBO constantly. And How I Got Into it's really weird because this guy Savage Steve Holland was really good at making teen comedies, but specifically that time period in your life between high school and college when you don't know what the fuck you're doing with yourself.
Right.
That's what all 3 of these movies are about. And they're fucking great. They're amazing. They're great comedies. Skiing the K-12 or whatever. That was the big achievement he was going to make, was just skiing down a big mountain. I love that. That's exactly the kind of shit that you worry about when you're in high school. Like, oh my God, I got to ski the K-12 and then my ex-girlfriend will get back together with me. I don't know. But anyways, these movies were such bombs that he never really got to make another movie for the mainstream company. So he's done a lot of TV. He's directed a lot of Nickelodeon and Disney shows. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, Dan Schneider gave him the work at Nickelodeon. What the fuck? Of course he did.
Yeah.
Please, Savage Steve Holland, don't be a pedophile. Please, can I have one hero?
I know.
Can I have one hero, please? Oh, and that reminds me of a funny story. I didn't dig the picture up because I didn't think anyone cared. But I actually got to see, I think it was One Crazy Summer at this place called the Silent Movie Theater. It had a different name.
But I know what you're talking about, yeah.
But yeah, so they showed One Crazy Summer, but the people that showed up were Savage Steve Holland, the girl that's in the movie, Curtis Armstrong, who played Booger in Revenge of the Nerds. He's in all these fucking movies of Savage Steve Holland. And I have to say a funny anecdote real quick about this, because I wanted to go because I wanted to see Savage Steve Holland speak. And my ex-girlfriend wanted to go because Curtis Armstrong, aka Booger is the world's authority on the music of Harry Nilsson.
Oh.
Harry Nilsson did the song called Everybody's Talking, which was a huge hit for the Midnight Cowboy soundtrack. I can't really even think of too many other hits he had. He was just best friends with John Lennon and stuff. And, he wrote a bunch of Monkey songs.
Okay.
He's kind of obscure, but he's very well respected among music nerds, but not well known among other normal people.
He's like that one guy you mentioned that had that like a couple episodes ago, where he was this guy, he committed suicide, but then he ended up having like a random song that appeared in a commercial.
Well, that was Nick Drake, but the situation with Nilsson was different because Nilsson was very well respected in the industry. He was very close friends with Alice Cooper, John Lennon. These were the people that he hung around with back in the day. But he was also a hardcore alcoholic. Oh, he wrote the fucking theme song to Camp Candy, if you guys remember that show. the John Candy cartoon.
Okay.
But anyway, this guy Booger is the world's foremost authority on Harry Nilsson music, and he has all of the master recordings because the family gave them to him to catalog. I swear to God, my ex-girlfriend did this. She walks up to Curtis Armstrong and she says, if you don't release Harry Nilsson's demos, I'm going to fucking kill you. And then Booger, to his credit, totally deadpan. He's like, well, alrighty then. He didn't get frazzled or flustered. But I always had a soft spot in my heart for my ex-girlfriend that she walked up to Booger and then bullied him. And it was Revenge of the Nerds. And she bullied him about the nerdiest fucking thing she could have, Harry Nilsson.
Right.
I miss you. Call me. Doing some David Spade over here. Call me.
Yeah, he wasn't really good.
He's terrible at fucking everything. His stand-up was garbage.
I never seen his stand-up, but I know someone that opens for him. But I met him at Adam Sandler's Christmas thing. I'm not dropping names, but like my brother got invited to Adam Sandler's like holiday party.
What? I was gonna, yeah, exactly. It better not be Christmas party. This is the dude that did the Hanukkah song, right? Come on, stay with your fucking team, brother.
No, but he's cool there. But anyway, to Adam Sandler's credit, when I went to get a drink, I wasn't. They were free, and I went to tip, and the waiter was like, "No, don't do that," because he paid everyone so much.
Really, that's super cool. Then that's really cool.
Adam Sandler's a good dude. It seems like one of the rare few good dudes in Hollywood, and he's always like hooking up his friends with roles just to make movies and stuff.
Yeah, Grown Ups. I was gonna say that's probably the only hit movie that David Spade has ever been in, and I don't even know how popular that is. It's not popular because of David Spade. It's popular because of Adam Sandler and Kevin James.
Right, but yeah, David Spade was there, so he was on stage and stuff playing music with him. So it was kind of cool, I guess. And then I saw him later at Whitney Cummings' house for her party.
You went to that party, you son of a bitch. That's how you knew the guest list. We were talking about this privately. Yeah. You were like, oh, you said Tony Hinchcliffe performed at Whitney Cummings' house. I was like, I didn't know you watched it in person.
Well, I was like working, so it's not like I was just there to hang out. I filmed the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Or I helped film the whole thing. And yeah, he kind of bombed. He bombed.
I've never not seen him bomb. It's really weird. It's kind of what I was saying about David Spade. Like, how the fuck did these people become famous and famous for decades?
I don't know.
It's all about dick sucking. There's nothing funny about it. Did you ever see the David Spade movie he headlined by himself? It was about how Artie Lang played the sidekick in it. That he played the David Spade role in that movie. I cannot remember what it's called, but it's about he has a crush on a woman that lives in his building, and he kidnaps her dog to get him. That's another thing. I just don't like his person. I don't like his persona. His persona is that of a snarky little faggot and a bitch, like a little beta male faggot. I'm not into that.
Do you think maybe because like he was friends with all these better comics that's what it is?
That's what happened with Rob Schneider. I can tell you that much. Yeah. Why not? Why couldn't it happen with David Spade?
Because he was friends with Norm, obviously, and
I mean, some of the friends that Norm kept, I really wonder about him. I do kind of wonder if he was a closeted fag sometimes.
I mean, he had that joke about it.
Yeah, sometimes jokes aren't just jokes. As my sister always likes to say, there's truth in every joke.
I don't know about every joke, but a lot of them, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I hope that's the case, because otherwise I've been doing this all wrong. I think my humor is too truthful.
Yeah.
It needs to be a little more deceptive, I think.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of like
Busboys. That's what I'm talking about.
Busboys. Yeah.
Listen, if someone gives me money to make a movie, I'm calling it Joseph P. Larkin Horror Fucker, or Joseph P. Larkin has a big dick. Part 2 because it's so big it can't fit in just one movie.
Yeah.
I would never do a movie where I'm a busboy or a waiter. I mean, look at the Blues Brothers. They were fucking badasses. That's why that movie endures. Dangerfield is a badass in the fucking Caddyshack movie. He's not a pussy. He's not even supposed to be there. The whole joke is that he's a Jew and he's not allowed there.
Right.
That's badass.
I thought it was also that he was new money and that the other guy was old money too. That was another part of it, wrinkle, right?
I'm sure of it. And I don't even know why I even brought up the Jewish part because it's part 2 that was really Jewish.
Part 2.
Not so much Caddyshack. Caddyshack, Dangerfield just has a couple of nice lines that he lobs at the old white people about how he's not supposed to be there or whatever.
Yeah, he's new money and they're old money. Basically, is what I think the dynamic was supposed to be. But I will say this. You said something that, oh crap! Now I've already forgotten. But because we went on Dangerfields, but what were you talking about? Oh, Bus Boys. So the only good movie that Dane Cook was in was Waiters, or Serving.
Wait is called Waiting.
Waiting, that's what it was. It was the only good movie. He played a waiter, and it was the only. No, he was like a line cook or something in the back.
You know what, bro? I'm gonna fucking argue with you on this one because I hate that movie, but I really love the Dane Cook movie, Employee of the Month. I watch it once a year, and this is not a joke because it comes on every fucking streaming platform. Employee of the Year. It's a surprisingly smart comedy for Dane Cook, but listen to some of the other people in the cast. Andy Dick. Remember, he can be funny. Andy Dick, Harlan Williams. He's funny. These are the side characters that he has to like buddy up to in the movie. And also, I love that Jessica Simpson cannot act at all, and they did not give her any dialogue. She's just there to look hot.
Yeah.
I really like that movie. I'm totally gonna recommend it to people.
I've never seen that one, so maybe that is good.
Watch Waiting and then Employee of the Month to get the fucking full effect. Now, let me tell you, I've also seen all of the other Dan Cook movies too. I'm a bit of a I hate myself, I guess. I don't appreciate my own free time.
You're a bit of a Dane Cook stan.
But yeah, I've seen like there's one movie where it's with Kevin Costner. This is a crazy movie. I wish I could remember the name of it, but he's supposed to be a serial killer in it. Dude, that movie is nuts. God, I wish I could remember the name. Dude, it fell off the radar. No one even knows about this movie. I just saw it on HBO one day many years ago.
I'm gonna cross-reference this.
It's called Mr. Something.
Mr. Cook and Kevin Costner?
Yeah, it was called Mr. Nowhere or something like that.
Mr. Brooks.
Mr. Brooks.
Is what it is.
Dude, I got it. Maybe I got to try to track that one down and watch it again because it's something else. Yeah. It really is something else. That could be a movie we could watch with the comedian and make fun of the whole time. I mean, I already don't like Kevin Costner, so this is just like box office poison to me, the two of them together in a serious movie. But I also saw this really bad movie where I think it's called Good Luck Chuck, where it's about how Dane Cook has really good luck with women. I don't know. It's something stupid. But after I saw him Play of the Month and liked it, I was like, I'll just watch every movie he's been in. Fuck it. There's only 4 of them.
Right.
I mean, Dane Cook has more of a movie career than fucking David Spade did. David Spade didn't do any fucking movies with Kevin Costner.
Yeah, he well, David Spade just did. I'm trying to think, like the biggest ones were the ones with Chris Farley, right?
Yeah, and they weren't popular at all at the time. Dude, what he's good at, I'll tell you, I do know what he's good at. Sitcoms, being the quirky side character in the sitcom. He was good in Just Shoot Me. And then there's another one called Rules of Attraction, which is eerily similar to Just Shoot Me, which he's also in. I don't see what's wrong with just like being a sitcom actor. That sounds like a fucking honorable way to live. You make people happy by making them laugh. I mean, I'm not making any money, and nor am I making anyone laugh. So imagine how desperate and sad my life is.
I know. Usually you make people angry.
But people like Jim Carrey, where it's like, it's not enough being funny and being the most popular like comedian of my time. I also got to do some serious roles. It's
Yeah.
about time that I played a serial killer too. Like no one wants to see this. No one wants to see Robin Williams playing a serial killer either. Get
He
a fucking
did it, and it was
clue.
terrible.
He did
It
it a
was,
bunch. He did it at least once, maybe twice.
what was that? It was a Christopher Nolan movie. It was really bad.
It was two. Yes, it was called. It was the 1 hour photo,
Yes.
and then there's another one where he plays an eerily similar character. I can't remember what it was.
The 1 hour photo wasn't a Nolan movie, right?
No, the other one was just some shit. I think that the Nolan one, Insomnia.
I saw it in theaters and it sucked so much, and I hated it.
That's the Nolan movie. It's based on another movie from. The other movie is fucking great. The original Insomnia, which I think is from. I want to say it's from Sweden. I don't remember where it's from.
Most likely, yeah.
It's great though. The original is great.
Yeah,
I mean,
Insomnia is the movie. It was god awful.
Yeah, I remember that because it has like. I have it on DVD because it was on a Criterion. It was on Criterion, but it's something about this this detective because it's in some place in Europe where it's 24-hour sunshine. That's a factor as to why he can't sleep. I don't. Then so they moved the Nolan movie moves it to Alaska. I don't know. Yeah. It's just not the same. It's not going to work.
It wasn't good, and it was. I don't know. It fell flat. And it's a movie that no one remembers that no one did because it was that bad, you know.
That was his attempt, I think, at making like a normal Hollywood thriller.
Yeah, not a movie with time dilation is what he was trying to do, and because he's really good at he's mostly good at messing with time, like in Inception. You know, I mean, it was okay. Actually, I didn't. The movie.
Should go see this anime called Paprika because he just ripped off the entire story from it.
Okay.
I'm not even that. I've never even seen either of those movies, but I know he did it. Of course, he ripped it off. Fucking bum.
Yeah, most people they call it being inspired by, but really it's just like ripping off something else.
Well, what are those Batman movies? A bunch of those plots were just ripped from the comic book. I'm not even a Batman reader, and I know that. I know Bane broke his back in the comic book.
Right. Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about these comic book movies because if you've read the comic books, I'm like, why are they being so? Why are they just
redoing the story?
Yeah, why are they just showing me something I already read? And they always fuck up the story anyway. They changed all these crucial parts that made the comic book interesting.
Here's why they do it because the comic book fan. Oh, there he is! He just popped up out of nowhere. Did you see that guy?
He's got insomnia now.
Yeah. Comic book fans, they want the things they've read in the movie, but they get mad if it's not like what they envisioned in their head from what they read. You know what I mean? Because I have one of these friends, like he reads all the comic books, and so none of the comic book movies are ever good to him because he read the comic books already, and he wants them to do the story, but he wants them to do it similar to the comic book. And I'm like, I'm with you. I'm like, but then you've already read that. What's the point?
Well, yeah, they were supposed to. I'm not even sure if they canceled it or not, but they were supposed to make a movie about this character named Kraven the Hunter. That was one of Spider-Man's enemies. But there's this really cool comic book. I guess maybe a graphic novel, a collected comic book called Kraven's Last Hunt, where it's just a story about. It's like 6 issues. Kraven buries Spider-Man in a shallow grave, and then just becomes Spider-Man and just running around hurting people in the Spider-Man costume. And then, like I'm talking like issue 4, he just kills himself at the end, and then the last 2 issues we don't even see Kraven in the rest of the story about him. So when they announced that they're gonna make a movie out of this, I was like, no fucking way, no fucking way would they make a fucking movie out of this. No fucking way. And of course, I don't think they did do it.
No.
But if they do it, there's no fucking way Kraven's gonna be blasting his head off with a shotgun while he cries "mommy" to himself.
Right.
That's his final words, mother. That's not appropriate for the Marvel Cinematic Universe at all.
No.
But that, I don't know. Maybe I'm with your friend on that. I don't know. Some things would just work as a comic book and just leave it the fuck alone. It doesn't need to be a fucking movie.
It's its own medium. It doesn't need to. The best comic book movies are the ones you didn't know were comic book movies.
Yeah, totally. Which would those be?
Well, Blade when it first came out, people didn't know, but it totally was.
That's a total. That's you have to be a turbo nerd to read Blade.
Yeah, Constantine
Constantine, yeah, I
was
can
pretty
see that.
good. Trying to think of some of the other. Oh man, what were the? There's a few, but man, it's hard to do this on the fly. But comic.
Well, I'll tell you the one I liked at the time when it came out was Logan. And I liked it because, and then by the way, every comic book fan I ever talked to said they hated that movie. But I
Really?
liked it because, yes, I liked it because it was more rooted in reality and no one was wearing any fucking costumes. Like, I can't get into the costumes.
Right. Yeah, it's a little much.
Yeah, the costumes never look cool. They always look like they're professionally made in somewhere. They don't look like, doesn't look like Spider-Man could make that himself at home.
Oh, Men in Black. That was a good one. That you didn't know was a comic book. I didn't know.
I didn't know that was a comic book, actually.
Yeah. The Mask.
The Mask is a comic book, yeah. And actually, the comic book is way fucked up compared to the movie. The Crow is also way fucked up compared to the movie.
That's another one that people didn't realize until later, or some people knew, but most people didn't. With The Crow, the comic book was way more fucked up.
Yeah, it was made by Dark Horse. No, it wasn't Dark Horse. It was Caliber Comics. This is, I was into much more obscure comic book stuff than normal people were.
Mm-hmm.
I liked indie and underground comic books way better.
Yeah, stories were usually better.
Yeah, drawings are oftentimes a little bit more interesting. I like black and white over color, especially by the time that I started reading comic books, they started using computer generated coloring, and it just looked like shit to me. It still looks like shit. I can't look at any new comics because they look like shit to me. Right. I like the old school kind where they either hand painted it like a watercolor, or they like cut little strips of colors and pasted it onto it, and so it has this weird block like color formations on the around the characters, which I really enjoy looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I hate computers. I really don't like them. I like that we can use them to make our podcast with relative ease.
Right.
But it never, everything looks too digital nowadays. Even just a simple shot of me sitting here, when I look at it on the TV later, it's going to be pixelated.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there's nothing going on back here to be pixelating.
There's a argument about why cinematography looks so flat these days and so dark. Is because everything's shot in digital because it's just more affordable, and so they have to shoot it a certain way. And the problem is that everyone shoots it the exact same way. Mm-hmm. The old school way of like messing with lights and figuring out your look, it's sort of a dying art in a way. It's not dead. It'll never be dead, but man, it's just a lot tougher with digital. It's
pretty close to dead. How about the fact that most movies look bluish gray? Yeah. They all have the same color palette. It's really frustrating to me. I mean, obviously I care about color. I try to inject it into the background all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I want things to look nice. Why can't they look nice?
All right. You know what? Here's a little scene from a movie that we're going to be watching Saturday. So...
I love that instead of slowing it down, they just had him do it slowly.
Yeah. Yes. This is...
That's not the ending, is it?
No.
I mean, it just give away the ending, did we?
I don't know, but that's like one of the most... people have memed that to death, so everyone knows what that is. But that's from this film from Turkey called Karate Girl. And it looks actually better in the copy that I found. So it's a cleaner copy.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, it looks it looks less believable than the Armenian genocide. Little Turkish humor for you, a little Turkish delight for you.
No, like it's this movie I found from Turkey, and it's for free on YouTube, so it's gonna be fun to watch. We're watching it with Mark Gonzalez, a comic we both know.
Yeah, I was gonna say after we do it with him, I don't even know who we would do it with next. I don't have anyone else I want to talk to in the comedy community.
we can talk.
I don't trust anyone else like, from the comedy community to actually show up and be entertaining when they're on camera.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, like, and I think back at the We Three Trolls, man, they really went to shit when we had guests because we only got guests that were Comedy Store people, and none of those people are fucking funny. Like, give me a break. Like, what's that fat bald fucker's name?
I don't know.
Don Barris. One of these fucking, there's so many fucking weirdos at the Comedy Store. Like this guy, Don Barris, that I smoked weed with many, many times, and he never learned my name. In fact, the way he would greet me is he'd walk up to me and say, "There's the guy who hates me." It's like, what? I don't know you, you fat bald fuck. Now I hate you, though. Now I hate you. And actually, watching you do the same fucking 10 minutes of material stretched out for 45 minutes every single night was a total ordeal. And anytime he would see you, somehow he had like, he could see in the dark or something. And anytime someone would get up and try to leave, he'd go, "Where are you going?" He'd be like, "Just go to the bathroom. I'll be right back." All right. But the reality is I'm going into the back to smoke weed far, far away from your fucking dumb faggot ass, you fat fuck.
Right.
Luckily, I can talk all the shit I want because he doesn't even know what my name is. So he can't get mad. But it reminds me, like, all comedians are so petty and they're so shitty. But I remember this is a total comedy joke that only you, me, and Don Barris would ever even get. So I don't know why he withheld a laugh on this one. But he told me, like, when they were sitting in the back smoking weed, he says to me, he says, "Hey, the inventor of improv just died." And I said, "Yeah." And then on the Laugh Factory marquee, they wrote, "Make God yes and." And he totally stone-faced me and said, "That's really funny." Like he was annoyed that I had said something clever in front of him. But that is clever, god damn it.
That is very clever.
How many only comedians will get that joke, but trust me, it's fucking funny as fuck. Make God yes and. Oh, speaking of which, I want to talk about a little bit more about one more movie I saw on Amazon, Strangers with Candy. Speaking of improv, those are all improv faggots.
Yeah,
man,
right?
That yes, Second City actually. They're Second City people because they're all from Chicago. Man, that movie sucks, and the TV show is so good.
Yeah.
So of course they could never make a movie out of that, and then like it's really weird to watch Stephen Colbert almost be funny. It's like, what happened to this fucking guy? What is it?
Really funny.
Yeah, what happened to this guy? What happened?
Political. It's what happens.
You'll notice none of the other people from that show got political.
Yeah,
they have no careers, but they're still funnier. I mean, Amy Sedaris is like a million times funnier than Stephen Colbert is at this point. There's not even there's not even a debate going on for that. Everyone knows that.
Well, it's I forget who said it, but someone was talking about it, and it's like when you get political, you lose the ability to be funny because to be funny, you have to not see both sides, but be able to see other points of view to try and make jokes, I guess, and so. The problem is when everybody gets political, they get stuck on one thing, and then now you've pigeonholed yourself down to this one idea. Everything else is wrong. I'm right, and it's like,
dude, it's really crazy though, because even the movie, it's a totally watered down, rehashed version of the TV show, but it's still there's tons of racial humor. I mean, that show was offensive on purpose. It was supposed to be a parody of after school specials,
right?
So there's tons of racial humor, and you still see them doing it in the movie. And it's like, what happened to this guy, Stephen Colbert, that used to make these funny jokes? I think that he is that Knoblauch character. He is a fag in real life and hiding it poorly from the world. Yeah. It's the only thing that would explain his personality. He's one of these dickheads that's always talking about how he's a Catholic. It's like, you're not Catholic. Are you kidding me?
No.
You're like the worst example of a Catholic I've ever seen, except for the fucking Pope.
Yeah.
You're the worst Catholic this side of the Pope. both of them trying to push faggotry. That's like number one no in the Bible.
Yeah.
You can't make any more Christians by fucking dudes up the ass. Okay, folks?
No.
Big fat fucking no. So if you're a Catholic, you need to be hating that sin. That sin's bad. It's not good for these people to be getting butt fucked all the time. I'm gonna leave it on this note because it's just something I've been thinking about. Porn. porn has ruined people's minds. Women watch porn now. That really bothers me. Women are watching porn. That's sick. But there's a lot of stuff you see in porn that should only be a fantasy. It should never be tried in real life.
Right.
Like the one I keep thinking about is cuckold porn. Because I remember when this got introduced, because the plot lines would be something funny. It would be like, hey, this guy can't pay rent, so I'm going to let the landlord fuck her. And then they were clearly not a couple. And so the guy'd be pretending like, oh, oh no. But they clearly weren't a real couple. Now, real life couples do this stuff. And it can't be good for your marriage. It can't be good for your relationship with women. Like, how could you not hate women after watching them get fucked? That's what the Comedy Store kids were into. They would go out to Joshua Tree, and they get high on all kinds of terrible drugs and fuck each other. Oh. And I was not cool enough to get invited, obviously, but they were dumb enough to talk about it around me, which I will now use against them. Because I was just like, what? I mean, like Taylor and Rosafa, like, you're married, but you used to watch each other fuck other people like Tony Hinchcliffe. Like, how could that marriage ever possibly work? How fucked up are you people? Like, how could you ever look your husband in the eye after you watch him suck Tony Hinchcliffe's dick?
Yeah, I imagine I'm going to see him on one of these true crime documentaries I like to watch. Eventually.
Dude, it's the only thing that could happen. Think of how much you'd be burning your soul to watch the love of your life get fucked by some creepy, greasy guy. Some Guido.
Yeah.
Some porn Guido or something.
And on that note, please do yourself a favor, people, and don't let other people fuck your spouses. Mm-hmm. All right. I hope you have a good weekend. I hope you guys have a good weekend. And again, don't let other people fuck your spouses. Thank you so much, and good night.